It is in progress. Thanks, Ash.
You're welcome.
Excellent. Recording in progress. All right. G'day, FBFMers and Transformers and others, who's ever's watching. Tonight, you've got me, Dean, if you don't know me. We're going to be talking about how to stay on track and how relevant is it now that we're actually gone straight into another lockdown just for something different. How to stay on track and another lockdown, how relevant is that? So especially when it gets served on a nice plate of suck with a good server, pissed off and this is no good and over it. So it's relevant. It's very, very relevant. How do we stay on track? How do we stay on track when it feels like life's getting a little bit stale? How do we stay on track when we've got our big goals that just seem like they're too far away? I want to set a foundation here first. As far as staying on track goes, there is two options. We can either, there is progress or degress. So progress is what we're after, not degress. So for those who don't know, progress is moving forward, of course, and degress is to lose ground, is to move backwards. Often you'll hear people say, this is where I want to stay. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I don't want to move anywhere. But the reality is we can't stay. We do not stay still. We either move forward in our progress or we degress. That's our two options. It's just the natural part of life. Things don't stay the way that they are. You know, when our kids are little, they're all cute and cuddly and stuff like that. You go, oh, we could be like this forever, but it doesn't happen. Our cute and cuddly now is 19 and he's driving. So it doesn't work like that. Things change around us constantly. We change, our bodies change, our mind change, the neighborhood around us changes, our work environment changes, technology changes. Everything that we live in, the world that we live in, everything that we have to do with is constantly changing. Whether it's for the better or the worse, well, that's just a matter of opinion. That's all it is. So life doesn't stay still. How do we stay on track? The simple way how to stay on track is we stay in a constant state of progress. How do we do that? That's what we want to explore tonight. Let's go to the progress side of it. It's often said, success builds success. You know, people look at successful people and they say, mate, they're always so lucky. They're lucky to be successful. It's got nothing to do with luck, because once you start on a streak, once you start on a successful streak, it compounds and it keeps going and it keeps going. It's like a football team that, you know, they have a winning streak and they keep going, and next thing they win another premiership, another one after that. It's like athletes that just seem like they are invincible and they keep compounding their wins. It's the same. So when we start, we can keep building on top of that, and that's where our success builds success. Now, to the opposite side of that is we have our degress, where we want to stay in the same place, but we don't. We start to move backwards. And the same way that success builds success, bad attitude, failure, what we accept in the negative builds exactly that. And it just seems to get bigger and bigger, and all I have is bad luck. It's got nothing to do with luck. It's got everything to do with how we perceive stuff. So it's our limited beliefs and stuff like that. You know, often we say to ourselves that we can't do stuff. It's not possible. It's just not what I am. What I love in the last challenge that we did, last 8-week challenge, probably one of my favorite moments, one of my highlights from the last time was to see how many non-runners became runners. Self-confessed non-runners, they did a terrible job at being a non-runner and they began to run. That was one of their limited beliefs. And it used to be one of mine too, that I'm just not a runner. That's my limited belief. That's where it stops. I wasn't going past it until I actually made a conscious choice to challenge it. The reality is, one of my favorite sayings comes from Les Brown. He's a motivational speaker and a pastor from the States. And nice and simple, probably my all-time favorite saying is, if you want something different, do something different. In other words, if you want to change, you've got to make a change. So if you want something different, do something different. And it leads us into just a handy little tool that I want to share with you guys tonight. And it's called compounding our wins, or stacking your wins is another term that people use for it as well. And it works a little bit like this. So what we do is we look at all our wins. Okay, they can be big, they can be small. It doesn't really matter. They can depend whether you want it over a day, over a week, over a year. Just depends on what you want to do with it. But compounding wins works like this. So you'll look at your list and you go, what are my wins? Okay. The wins today is I had a great day at work. That's a nice, simple win. Second win is nice, easy ride home in the car. Two things that are not really in our control, but we can still count them as wins. Third win, we can stack them up. So as we go, we're piling these wins up. I made it out for my walk and I went further than I ever did before. I put on a pair of jeans and they fit fantastic, better than they ever did before. So it stacks up. Tonight, I was invited to go to Macca's and I went to Macca's, but I only had a cup of tea or a cup of coffee instead of the full burger meal. There's another win as well. What we do with all these is we stack them up on top of each other. It's called compounding wins. All right. And the way that works is then we have a good launching pad to actually make a change. The trick now is, instead of looking at all the things that we want to change, because we always have a massive list, there's always a big list of things that haven't gone right, big things that we want to take care of, that we feel are our failures. Choose one only. Okay. We get a good foundation, stack up all our wins. You know, my ass is looking good in these jeans. I'm running faster than ever. I'm not gorging myself. I had a great run home. Life just feels really, really good. I'm in a good space. Bang, 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 stack them up. And then we can attack from above. So you attack your one thing from above. Now, that one thing doesn't have to be a major thing. It can be a small thing that we want to change. If we put all our energy from a massive platform onto that one thing, that's a difference. And then we're focused. And then we're actually focused on what we want to do. So we attack it from above and see it for what it is. Because when we start looking at all the things that have gone wrong, and lockdown's a perfect one for that. You know, we're looking at lockdown. Here we go, the cell. And was it 5th lockdown again? This sucks. They don't know what they're doing. It's not fair. I had all these plans for the weekend. Now I can't go and see the family I wanted to see, or the movies I wanted to go to, or even the snow that my young fellow wanted to go to. All these plans that have got ruined. And we can also stack up the negative. Now, what that'll do is that'll just push us down. Okay. We don't want to stack up the negative. Get rid of those, nick them off. All we want to do is we want to stack up our wins, choose our one thing that we want to put all our energy into, that we want to focus on. Because it's the old saying, where the focus goes, the energy flows. So when we put it on, now we can look at it at a different perspective, because we've launched ourselves off a winning platform instead of a negative, sad sack, bucket of mud platform. All right. With our one thing, it doesn't always have to be a negative thing. It can be something that you're doing really, really well and you want to make it even better. And that's part of our progress. Is progress doesn't always mean that we're sorting out something negative. It can mean that we're improving something positive to be even better than we were. Now, the idea of our life is to be better tomorrow than we were today. So it gives us more hope, more self-belief, and to be able to do more than what we did before. Compounding our wins. It's a great little tool to use. Try it out. All right. Just stack those wins up as many as you can get. Doesn't matter if you have 3. It doesn't matter if you have 40. It doesn't matter. The more, the better, because then you can launch from a high place and take on that one thing that you want to change. All right. Leads me into our next section, which is failure is an opportunity. Yeah, it's all the usual talk of, oh, failure is an opportunity. What if it sucks big time? Well, it's a good chance it does, because otherwise it would be called something nicer, wouldn't it? Fluffy cats or something like that. Who knows? But anyway, failure is an opportunity. When we launch from a positive place, we can start seeing it for what it is and not worse than what it is. We can start seeing it for the reality that it is. We can start chopping away all the prickly bits. We can start chopping away all the crappy feelings that go with it and actually start looking at it for what it is. All right. Lockdown is perfect timing for this section tonight. Probably not perfect time for much else, but it is for this, and it is for our mindset to be able to go, you know what, we can test this out right now. An opportunity is what it is. Often when we move forward, it's from all the bumps, all the hits, all the grazes, all the knocks we've taken, and that's what we learn. As little kids, when they're walking, they learn what to do more from when they fall over than they do from when they're walking, right? The bumps and scrapes along the way are our lessons. Our failures are our lessons. See them for what they are and no worse. Just, it's a little bit of a mindset that I want to share with you, something that we actually, as coaches, training, I guess, and try and understand, is we have our own perception of the world. Our perception of the world is not the same as anybody else in this world. It's slightly different. We are unique in that way. All right. So the way we perceive things is uniquely to us. So what happens is everything that happens in this world is purely just an unemotional event. That's what it is. It becomes an emotional event when we actually attach something to it. So we will attach, say, a birthday party, we'll attach joy to that. The actual event is, I was born this time 51 years ago. All right. That's the actual event. So no more, no less. It's just a fact. When it becomes special is when we attach some meaning to it. So it was special that I was born that day. It was special that now that we're celebrating with my family and my friends, and having a good time together. And then it brings the emotions of joy in there. All right. And same with sadness, same with grief, same with anger, and even the same with anxiety as well. We attach our emotions to particular events. Lockdown is perfect. A good dose of pissed off is definitely being hung on there. A good dose of I hate Dan Andrews is definitely being hung on there. Start to see it for what it is. Don't let it become bigger than what it needs to be. Don't let it become so big that it outdoes your stack of wins. All right, that it actually outdoes that pile that you've put together of your wins. Don't become bigger, so it squashes it down. See it for what it is. It's time for a change, and this is a perfect opportunity to test it out. All right, where our energy goes. All right, that's what you want to focus on. Put it into the good stuff. The challenges, pull them out exactly as that. They are room for improvement. They are opportunities to learn. They are lessons of life that help us live in that constant state of progress. All right. Fourth one here, really, really important. Focus on what we can control. Now, here's the clincher. There is only one thing in this world we can control. And all the things that are around us, there's one thing. And when you look in the mirror, that's it. It's you. I'm the only thing that I can control. We have control over our actions, over our emotions, over our feelings. And I know some people say, no, we don't. Yes, we do. Everything that we do, we have a choice. There is a choice to be made. Sometimes our choices can be pretty crappy. We still have a choice to be made. Sometimes we have awesome choices. We still have a choice to be made. focus on the one thing that we can control, and that's how we contribute to a situation. That's how we react to a situation. And that's how we view a situation. And that is also what we attach to that situation as well. So if we attach negative, angry feelings and emotions to a situation, that's what we're going to see. That's what we're going to be trapped in. Is it going to help us progress? More than likely not, is probably our degress. If we lock ourselves away, we're not going to stay in that one spot. We are going to slowly slip back as well. All right. State of progress is where we want to focus on. State of focus and compounding wins, great little tool to actually help us to be able to get there as well. Okay, great little tool. Attack it from above, stack your wins, change your one thing, get back in there, look at those opportunities now instead of looking at them as failures. The other week, I'll share this quickly. The other week I set out for a run. It was meant to be a 22K run, I believe it was, and really badly set up by me. It was in Mount Liza, all hills. I didn't really think it through at all. Set off ridiculous clock. I think it was 5:30 or something like that. And I thought I'll meet the guys at TGO for the run afterwards and just finish it off there. By the time I see them, I reckon I'll be at 20Ks. By the time I saw them, I was at 14Ks and absolutely smashed. I was hammered. I had nothing left in the tank. And I could have walked away from there and thought, man, this sucks. And I failed badly at this. Instead, I walked away going, you know what, I didn't make my 22, which is perfectly fine, because I then got in a couple of hours worth of hill training, which I needed to do anyway, which I sort of wondered how I was going to get about doing it. Did it, 14Ks of hills, and really happy that I actually did it. Still fared up really well. So there's another one of my wins that I stacked up there, and still got to meet everybody afterwards. Went for a bit of a wander with them through the reserve and then coffees afterwards. So win, done. What can I change? Probably my planning would be my one thing. Attack it from above. Really good attitude. And it doesn't hold me back. So the next week I was able to go into a run again with a slightly changed mindset, and we're moving forward. So our failures are our opportunities. All right. Focus on what we can change. Focus on the one thing that we can control. Sorry. Focus on the one thing that we can control. That is us. Heading into the challenge, perfect platform. We've got things that we're wanting to change now, that we're wanting to improve, that we want it to be a better version of ourselves, whether it's fitter, faster, healthier, whatever it is, or all of them, all of the above. Perfect opportunity. Try it out, test it out, and talk with others about it too. All right? Share your wins, celebrate your wins. Really important. Community is fantastic for growth. When you get a good community, awesome for growth. The world needs us as individuals, and that's the important thing. You know, when I was saying before that we are uniquely individual how we see the world, okay, we are also uniquely individual how the world sees us when we are ourselves. When we are ourselves, that's what the world needs. That's where we're designed to be, and that's what we're made for, is actually to be in that world as you were designed to be. Focus on what you can control, and that is you. Because if you put your focus elsewhere, it'll just bring you frustration, that things are not working out. And it's not your fault, because it's not in your control. So you need to move your focus away from that, improve and invest on what you can control, and that is you. And I'll guarantee that when you do that, you will influence others around you. You will bless others around you with who you become every single day. Focus on what you can control. Really worth it. You're worth it. So put the energy where it's needed. All right. It's a fairly short one today. I'll just quickly run through it. How to stay on track is a state of progress. How to stay on track is a state of progress. Okay. Ditch your limited beliefs. If you want something different, do something different. If you want to change, we need to change. If you want something different, do something different. Our state of progress is where we want to be to keep moving forward, to keep improving. Compound those wins, attack from above, do your one thing. Failure is our opportunity to progress. That's what it's all about. Failure is our opportunity to progress. So our missed shots count every time for that one magic shot. Focus on what we can control. That's you, that's me, that's what we want to focus on. Okay, focus on what goes on in here so we can actually start improving and start living our state of progress. Stay on track, people. Love your work. Real short one today. Love it. Don't let lockdown beat you up. Okay, you beat it because you are awesome. Thanks. I am done. I am out. FBFMers, Transformers, have a good week. Cheers for that. I do need to stop it. I'm not sure how. Stop share. One thing I should improve, find where the stop button is. That would be good. And